We are back on Professional Wrestling, the podcast, because we are bros and kind of pros. You know me, Jonathan A. Hacohen, and co-hosting today. He is back. We've been asking for him. We missed him so much. He's the one, the only Jean-Pierre El-Khoury. JP, welcome back, man.
Thank you so much. I've missed you guys too. And boy, we're coming back to a lot of wrestling news, aren't we?
There's so much happening. I can't even deal with it. But before we do, over the next few weeks, we're going to be covering off a lot. This week we got to do the crown jewel. We got to talk about what happened because obviously it's a major WWE pay per view. And then we'll go into the world of AEW because you and I, you converted me. I have a choice. It's AEW over WWE now. And proof is in the pudding. I did it. I pulled the trigger. I ordered my first ever AEW shirt.
Yay! This is exciting times. And what a shirt, may I add. I believe that's a limited edition. Am I right in that?
It matches the watch even. My boy Prince Nana, and he swerves when he drives. And I love watching it. Swerve's my guy. I'm riding him all the way to the championship. And this shirt was available, apparently limited edition only. You have to order it right now. I'm like, I have to get this shirt into my life immediately. So you go on, JP, it's not so simple ordering a shirt from these guys, because they only give you like 30 different options. So I ordered crew neck in premium luxury soft material, which is an extra $6.99, I think. And I had to wait about 3, 4 weeks, and now I'm the proud owner of it.
Beautiful. What a shirt. Excellent, excellent shirt.
It's so good. I mean, Prince Nana executes it on such a good level. I've watched interviews with him and Swerve. There's an extended remix of the Swerve theme song. Prince Nana and Swerve are just everywhere.
Agreed. You're seeing it everywhere too. It's kind of blowing up.
Well, Swerve's a rapper too, so he's
Yep.
pretty talented. And some of your shirts now going because you always have some interesting merch for us. You mentioned to me off air that I finally hung up the belt, so the
Yeah,
chosen
love it.
championship belt is now up for all to see.
Beautiful.
You're a Hulkamaniac as always, a Macho Man.
Yeah.
If you're a wrestling fan, you have to own the purple Macho Man shirt. That's a legacy piece.
It's probably one of the best merch ever created, in my opinion. It's just it goes right in hand with the Hulkamania shirt. I love both of them so much. They're so iconic. Anytime I wear these out, you're always getting a comment here or there. You know, Hulkamania is still running wild after all these years. And man, when you walk down the street with this merch on, you definitely are gonna have a conversation or two.
I'd say the Macho Man shirt really started the merch. I would say the whole
Yeah.
persona of it because I mean it was selling forever back in his day, right?
Hmm.
And that's what created the coolness. Like if you're a Hulkamaniac, you were a kid, you loved it, but Macho Man was just cool no matter what age you were. Like Macho Man was just epic.
He still is though. He
Oh
still is.
yeah,
There's still
brother.
songs coming out about him. There's all types of references to him. So, I think if Macho Man grew up if he had the opportunity to kind of be in this whole tech boom, I think he would have surpassed Hogan, to be honest.
I like that thought. You know what? And I would say Macho Man transcends generations and eras. And folks, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for future episodes. Let us know what you think as far as who do you think the originator of merch, true merch is? And if Macho Man was a star today, would he be a star today, first of all? And would he transcend Hogan? I think you may be onto something, JP. I mean, look, they were the mega powers, which
Yep.
you got to be a true fan to know who the mega powers were. And Rob Van Dam shirt, seriously?
You know it, man. I love RVD. He's still doing it today and still doing it at a good level. You got to give the guy credit because he was never one to really take care of his body and always go light like a lot of the megastars are. He was a megastar. He is still a megastar, and he still tries to put his body through it. So kudos to him. I have to give him some respect because that guy is one of a kind, right?
he has also lived a very, very interesting life, and it's a
Yes.
PG show, so we won't go too far. But Rob Van Dam's an interesting character, and all the power to him. He's into yoga and natural supplements, so
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that.
Plenty of natural supplements.
Natural, plenty of natural supplements. So 2023 Crown Jewel came and went this year.
Yeah.
So when we have these podcast tapings, it's a little bit therapy, right? A little bit wrestling therapy. Do you find the same thing?
I love it. I look forward to it, man.
So I
It's
got a
that
confession.
breakaway. Go ahead.
I got my first confession over the next few weeks. So my first confession is like this. I fell asleep 3 times during Crown Jewel. I really, it took me 2 tries to watch the LA Knight Roman Reigns match. I fell asleep twice during Roman Reigns LA Knight. Is it me, JP, or is WWE just hit the stale wall right now?
I fully agree that you are not alone, my friend. I feel it. I think what I'm having difficulty with is commentary for sure. I never find the commentary upbeat, kind of engaging as a viewer. Like if you're in an arena, you're going to be focused in on the match. But when you're at home and the commentators aren't quite bringing it, it makes it really hard to stay involved in the match. Even though there are a lot of good matches taking place, but I think a big area that WWE can definitely improve is hiring better commentators. You compare them to AEW, I think AEW blows them away like it's not even a fair competition in that realm.
I know a lot of people love Michael Cole. Okay. And let's not take anything away from Michael Cole. Michael
He's a
Cole is
workhorse.
future Hall of Famer, whatever he's going to be in life. But I'm watching Michael Cole commentate, and I'm like, I got to check my calendar because I'm like, is it 1990 or is it 2023? And it's like, life has just kind of gone and taken by, and like
Yeah.
he's on both Raw and SmackDown. I think I'm over. I've had Michael Cole overload. I think that's what it is. I'm just too much Michael Cole, and we need some more fresh blood in there. Yes,
Would you say that it's vintage Michael Cole,
he was
as he
a.
likes to always refer to all the other athletes? That's vintage RKO, right?
You know what it
Everything.
is? You know what it is? Michael Cole goes back and watches a lot of Vince McMahon commentating from the 1980s, and he's just trying to emulate him. Remember when none of us knew that Vince McMahon was the owner and
Yeah.
he was on as the commentator and he was the face commentator to Bobby the Brain Heenan? We need a Bobby the Brain Heenan. We need this kind of energy. I need the face, I
So
need the
hard to
heel,
find.
and don't get me wrong, like I do love the other commentators that are on there. Like I'm a big fan of both. I know they had the switcheroo, which I don't quite understand why they had to do that exactly, but I think the common denominator here is Michael Cole. I'm with you there. So let's bring some
He's
fresh energy. I think we need more retired wrestlers or recently retired wrestlers. They're still fresh into it, or current people that are starting to more be part timers. I find it interesting. Like for example, AW brings in Chris Jericho.
Yes,
Yes, please, all day long.
because he's got the gift of gab. He's always had it. You need to kind of bring in uh, mic talented wrestlers into that fold, walk them into it. And that's what WWE used to do as WWF. They would always have guys come in, Jesse Ventura, they would have Macho Man, they would have all types of different Gorilla Monsoon. All these great guys come in as wrestlers, then transition into commentators. And now it feels like they kind of shifted away from that and are trying to go after like more other sports league commentators, try to bring them in, or kind of farm and coach their own commentator team. But when I think what makes a lot of those guys great, like JR, Chris Jericho, and others you mentioned, like Jesse Ventura as well too, is that
Ventura was
they're
great.
used to hearing the audience while they perform,
Yes.
and I think they can accelerate their tones and adjust to the audience levels. And these guys, maybe they don't have the ears for what's happening in the arena to drive that home. Like when they're working a live show and they're on the mic in the middle of the ring, and they're kind of playing the crowd like a fiddle, right? They want you to boo, they want you to to yell. They know how to get that feedback out of you. But I think these guys who kind of just been either just a commentator or have come in from another network or sport, I don't think they understand the wrestling universe call when they're just going nuts at home. I don't feel like they're true fans, like I do on the other brand of AEW.
So we got Wade Barrett, we got Corey Graves. I'm okay with both of them. I like their approaches.
Mm-hmm.
They're becoming a little too vanilla-ish for me. Like they are supposed to be the heels, but they're not quite heelish anymore. I feel like instead of get rid of Kevin Patrick, just go assign him to doing like whatever reports he wants to do on the internet. But
Yeah.
let's bring in another heelish current wrestler and make it a lot more fun for certain. So let's try. But in the meantime, we got the commentators that we got. It is what it is.
Yep.
So let's go match by match here. Let's just say thumbs up, thumbs down, and how we liked it. Let's give them the ratings. First of all, we got and any surprises here. So Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. I think no surprises here.
100%. I had Seth booked on that all day, coming out with the W. I love Seth. He's a solid performer, but I think he's starting to hit that wall again with the fans of getting boring and stale. And it's not his fault. He's just really good, but it's just it doesn't seem like him and Drew had a great match. Drew is very capable of amazing matches. We've seen it. Him and Sheamus are some of the best hard-hitting matches you can see. They had a solid working match together, but I didn't feel like fully entertained through it. And it's not a jab at either one of them because they're tremendous athletes. I didn't quite get the whole build up behind it. I didn't feel invested in it enough to really care for their performance. And I just feel like the crowd's starting to turn on Seth again. As much as they chant for him and love him, it's just I can't think of many guys really right now that unless they're just booking like the bigger guys that slow Seth down. I'd like to see him with faster matches because he's still young. He's in fantastic shape. He should be going in fast matches. I feel like these ones are a bit slowed down for him.
And this is what they did to Bobby Lashley as well until he became a heel and they're trying to rebuild the Hurt business. And I love that. Mm-hmm. So another confession. So this is confession number 2 now. I fell asleep during Raw twice. The past Raw. And I went back and watched a bit of the video and I tried to read on the commentary what happened. And either there was a typo or I misread it, but I read that Sami Zayn beat Seth Rollins for the belt. And I said, yes, let's not even talk about Crown Jewel now. They finally made a good booking decision. I went back and watched the match. Went back and watched it again. I'm like, okay, wait, are they going to restart the match here or something? I'm like, oh no, Sami Zayn did not win the belt. If Sami Zayn on the Raw afterwards would have won the belt, I think that would have been an interesting decision. I'd be very okay with that.
Yeah, it would have been. I think he would have gotten a massive pop. I think a lot of people are still pushing and cheerleading for Sami to get into that world championship view. Even though it's the second belt, it's still good. I'm sure Sami won't mind, but at least somebody's defending their belt on a regular basis.
McIntyre was just an interesting, he makes everybody look good, and you know what? He came close, but it wasn't going to happen. It was just a predictable opening match, and c'est la vie.
And they're both great athletes. It's the first match and the last match they say are the most important. And correct. I feel for the first match, they definitely delivered in setting the pace for the night. They did a good job in that aspect. Both tremendous athletes, but again, I didn't feel fully in love with the storyline. I didn't feel that connection.
It's a match that you can just close your eyes. You can picture watching it without even having to watch it. You can write it. You just knew what's going to happen. So that part of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mami wins the 5-way fatal match. I think no surprise there whatsoever.
None.
But nice match. The women, I was going to say girl, the women put on a great show. And Mami they're just waiting for her against Jade Cargill, let's be honest, which is going to be a fantastic match. Probably saving that for WrestleMania. I'm going to guess Jade is going to win the Rumble, and it's going to be Jade. But until then, Mami is definitely on top, and I'll give full marks. Great match. Done.
Yep. great match all around. A lot of great spots in it, and it was nice to see. Um, one thing I like about the WWE women's division is they have a wide variety of athletes, and they have some of the tallest and strongest too, right? And anytime you have like Nia Jax involved, you're always worried about injuries, but we did it. We came out okay.
So we go from the predictable now to the interesting, and the next few matches were quite interesting. First one, my boy Solo Sikoa, the man with the thumb, and John Cena should be on life support right now after taking 5 Samoan thumbs, and I gotta say, I was quite surprised at this one. I didn't think Solo would win that cleanly. Were you surprised?
I had Solo put down for the win personally. I'm very happy that they had a clean match, and it was great to see. One thing I really like about John Cena, now I appreciate about him is he's really not selfish at this stage in his career, and he's happy to prop guys up as he should. Like guys
Absolutely.
like him, guys like Jericho, they're all about building the next generation. And kudos to John Cena on this one. He made Solo shine, and it takes a lot for someone of his caliber to kind of let an up and comer like Solo pin him clean 1, 2, 3. Really, really great match for both of them.
Solo a little different than Action Andretti, but Jericho is more jobbing at this stage of his career.
Yeah,
Solo, I wish they would get the mic away from him. Let Heyman still do the talking. He's not quite there yet. I love the SmackDown before Crown Jewel, and John just buried him in 90 seconds. We've
oh
been waiting
yeah.
for you to 2 years to talk, and this is the best you could come up with. You could tape that thumb heavily, and you know where you could put it. So it was great. I just like the build up. It was really good for Solo stock. Solo is now higher, and I got a
I
feeling
agree.
that Solo is about a year, 2 years away from seriously contending for an intercontinental belt or something along those lines. And he's great. He's great. Just get him a little more ferocious on the mic.
I'd like to say that I think it's good too to get those training wheels off and let him try on the mic too, because you can't be fully reliant on Heyman
True. True.
because Heyman is getting older in age too.
Yes, he is.
Who knows how much longer he will be? I hope he's there forever because I love Heyman. I think he's an amazing, amazing manager and personality on TV, top
He's
tier
the
all
gold
day.
standard. He's the gold
He
standard.
is. But I think it's good to let Solo get these opportunities because we know that Heyman's getting older. A lot of the guys we love are getting older, and we got to see if these guys, the next gen, is ready to take the ball and run with it.
Fair enough. So we are very happy with that match. I would say now what I call the eye roller of the night. Please, please don't tell me that I was watching that. So, oh my God, Logan Paul is now a WWE champion. Say it ain't so, JP. Say it ain't so.
Brother, it's so, my man. I'm sorry to break your heart, but can I tell? I have to make a confession now, since we're doing confessions.
It's therapy, please.
I actually like him as
I gotta go. Bye. No, joke. Go
United
on.
States as United States champion. I actually like that booking decision. I'm not the biggest Logan Paul fan outside of the wrestling world, but in my opinion, I think he's got what it takes to be in WWE specifically as an entertainer. He's got what it takes to be there. He's gonna elevate that title, make it relevant outside of the wrestling world, and the way that he stepped in and helped a pretty dangerous situation for Rey Mysterio and made it look so clean. Kudos to him. He has not disappointed me in all of his 8 matches, right? But you know what? He's bringing it. He's I, he's earned definitely my respect as a wrestling performer
Sports
and
entertainers. Sports entertainers.
sports entertainer. Sorry, and he's you know what? I'm actually happy with this booking decision. and I actually gotta give him a little clap to say, you know, I think he's gonna do great things with it, and thank you for taking care of Ray because that looked like a nasty fall till the last second save by Paul.
For me, I'll leave it at this much. He needs a faction for sure. I'd like to see Logan
Yes.
Paul in some sort of faction. And I think I need to see him more regularly. So not 5, 6 times a year. When this guy is on Raw every single week and he's
Agreed.
actually going to come out and not do the Roman Reigns schedule, I'm more open to this idea. He definitely is way more talented than I thought he was. I
Mm-hmm.
was very impressed with him in the ring overall. I just I'm still in the camp. It's not fair for the full timers that are going to the house shows and grinding it out for years. And
300 days
Johnny
a year.
and Logie come lately with my prime bottle is taking away their opportunities. But he sells merch and he puts butts in the seats. So I get it. I get
Me
it.
too. Only one thing I would change about that match
Yes.
is there's no need for brass knuckles. And I think it just cheapened the whole finish for that one because it's like you don't need to cheat. He's a great athlete. It's believable that a younger guy can take on a 50-year-old Rey Mysterio. He outweighs him by what, 50, 60 pounds, better shape. I think it's more believable that he could just beat Rey clean, personally.
I like the brass knuckles. I liked the underling doing the brass knuckles. What I don't understand is why did Santos pick it up and put it back?
And
Can someone
I know.
what is going on there? I mean, we understand that Santos is turning on Rey Mysterio. We get this. It's coming.
Yeah.
Why couldn't he turn on him in a three-way match and then pin him and take the belt? That would have been more understandable. I think Santos deserves the belt more than Logan Paul. But
Agreed.
regardless, Logan is a champion, and Lord, we're going to be hearing about this for a while. Next match, I was in heaven. Io Sky and Kairi Sane is back, the Princess Pirate.
Yes.
What the heck happened to her? She looks fabulous.
Yep. She looked great, but one of my favorite things is her insane elbow. I think she's got one of the best elbow drops in the business. It inspired my Macho Man shirt today, because I love the way that she kind of folds in and explodes towards the end. I think she does it really well.
She's been watching a lot of Macho Man footage, certainly, but she looks like she's 10 years younger all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And she's the most attractive woman in the division now by far. Before as a Princess Pirate, I thought, okay, she's a Princess Pirate. Woohoo. And like they've gone this whole heel gimmick with her. And by the way, I hate to ruin this for you. She is going to turn on Io Sky guaranteed.
Oh, for
Uh,
sure.
and that's gonna be a fun match. But I heard rumors, but I did not expect to see her out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I really like that finish too, because hopefully now Bailey will start to get back in the ring, really be the Bailey that she deserves to be. Like, I think she's such an underutilized talent in the women's division. She was one of the four horsewomen. She's a fantastic athlete. I want to see her get back in the title scene and really have a good strong push because she deserves it. She's a true fan and she puts in the time and work. So I hope she gets her run.
I'm a big Bailey fan as well. I think injuries. I think just they slowed her down because of the injuries, and
Hmm.
I think they're transitioning her more towards commentary and managing rather than fighting out there. And I think it's more health than anything else. But full
Yeah.
agreement there. Uh, so overall match, I guess we should talk about it, but I think there's no doubt
It
that
was
Io
okay. Yeah.
Io whatever. I mean, will they just please go ahead with the Bianca heel turn and put her in the Hurt Business? Then I'll find her more interesting, please.
For sure. And I'm actually looking forward to Bianca and Jade in the future. I think that's going to be a really, real cool combo because I think they would bring down the house, those two.
As opponents or as a tag team?
Uh, First, run the storyline as opponents, kind of like the bar, right? As
Yep.
opponents, then become a formidable tag team and bring those women championships over. And I think they have a great look. They have tons of athletic ability. I think those two have a real good chance of being something really special and needed in the women's division.
You put them as the female mega powers. Sold, sold. Those two together, I like that. Okay,
I
done.
like it a lot.
Uh, for eye roll number two, Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest. What was the point of this match? Why did they subject me to it? I could barely stay awake for it. I don't get it. It was just so they could have just put that on Raw. They could have put that on main event for all I care. It could have been a dark match. I was
It could
far
be a
more
house
interested.
show. I'm good.
I was far more interested in JD McDonough and Sami Zayn in the dark match beforehand than this crap. Why? Just because Cody's got to tell some more stories?
Man, I'm ready to close the book on his story and set it on fire. I don't care anymore, man, about his story. It's dragged on for too long. I'm I don't Cody's never made me want to turn on the screen. Since, after the WrestleMania loss, it's been harder and harder to watch him. And now I'm just at a point where I'm like, dude, I don't care about your story. There's nothing left for you there, man. You're gonna get destroyed every time, and you always play like this whiny underdog. And just come on, do something different, man. He's been there a while now, right? So it's like, and I don't feel like he's progressed
Nine
positively
months.
in
Nine
a
months.
while.
We've been
Yeah,
subjected to this for 9 months.
and it's like, oh, long-term storytelling. Well, don't make it a long, boring story. Like, let's get some action in.
I could have said it better myself. I fully agree. Thank you. I'm glad somebody else sees this because I'm done too. And by the way, I can see why AEW was done with him also. It was enough. It's enough. It's enough.
It's a win for AEW, I'll tell you that.
You know what? Maybe if he comes back as Stardust, I'm half interested. Maybe. Maybe.
Or him and Goldust start teaming.
24
You
karat
never know.
productions. 24 karat
That's right.
productions. What's Marlena doing? All right. For the final match in Crown Jewel, again, okay, I don't know what all of you, I know cannabis is legal in a lot of states now. So everybody was convinced that LA Knight was going to be the one to shine. It was never going to happen.
No.
We love LA Knight. We love doing this. Yeah. And I get the fans are really into this right now. He's, if The Rock and Stone Cold had a baby, it'd be him. And Razor Ramon. But I get it. I'm on board with this. I like the LA Knight thing, but he was never going to beat Roman. Roman is still Roman, and Roman is going to go all the way till WrestleMania still as champion. I get that. I feel like they could have done more with this. I think it could have been a more fun match. I was actually quite disappointed for the buildup of what I thought I was going to see.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I sat through that match. First and foremost, I gotta say, I am so tired of Roman Reigns. Like, I can't stand that he can't just win a match like cleanly. You're supposed to be the big dog. Like, I'm so tired of all these run-ins. I think almost every match on the card had a run-in, right? I'm tired of run-ins, and I'm especially tired of Bloodline. Like, as much as you hate John Moxley bleeding in matches, that's where I'm at with Bloodline interference or Roman Reign matches. It's just like, come on, like, you're you don't need all those, like be dominant. Like, if you're gonna show up for one match every 40 days or whatever it is, like 50, I think he's like 50, 54 title defenses since he's been champion or something like that.
Sounds about right. Sure. We'll go with
And
that.
it's like almost all of them, none of them are being dominant anymore. He's just looking so weak. He looks so tired. I have zero interest in his matches because it's so predictable now.
All right. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
You're all geared up, Crown Jewel. You're waiting for the main event. If you had the opportunity, they said, we're sorry to announce, but LA Knight and Roman Reigns cannot wrestle tonight. Instead, we'll be featuring MJF versus Daniel Garcia. Would you be disappointed or happy? Because I'd be thrilled. I'd rather watch that match.
I'd be ready to go, buddy. I'd be in it. You know what? Two young talents going at it full tilt, full speed. I love that. And MJF is gonna be a little bit shady. He's gonna do some trickery, but you know what? That's fine. Just Let them, because I know that they'd have a match and they'd both just finish the match, and
And
it
a
doesn't
dance
have to
off.
look
And a dance
and a
off.
dance off, right? So it's like I'm all for that, right? But I was really in one spot that I really enjoyed was when the referee accidentally counted three, and I was like, yeah, this is great. Like finally, like it looks like Roman's done, right? But then the way that they just kind of went about that little botch, it's like I know if Vince was still running the company, I bet you my bottom dollar that he would have come running out there. No, restart the match. They would have spun it into a story. It can't end like this. Da 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 da. Right? Or like have another official come down, like old school WWE and F days, where the official would come back and they'd argue in the ring, and then they'd say restart the match. Something to that
Or it
effect.
turns
It
out
just
the
felt
referee in the ring is actually the twin brother of the real referee. I love it. Love it.
right?
Love it. Love it.
They could have played it up in some way instead of just looking like just a real rare misstep on the WWE's part.
So let me ask you this much, man, because to me, that was another match that could have easily just been a Raw match. It honestly could have been the 10:35 p.m. match and it gone for about 20 minutes. What do you do with LA Knight from here?
You send him over to Seth. What more can you do? Nobody's taking the belt off of Roman. Roman, in my opinion, it you know it's a real tarnish on Hogan's legacy as one of the longest champions. He had like 300 or 400 wins as champion or defenses as champion in about 1400, I think 1400 days or so. Roman's approaching that, and he's like at 50 something. It makes Roman's championship run seem so ridiculous, and the fact that you're gonna break someone who's done so much for the business like Hulkster, you're going to break his record with someone like that. It just looks really bad, I think, in my opinion. LA Knight, he deserves to be one of the top guys. The crowd's behind him. He's moving merch. He's a reason why somebody puts their hard-earned money into WWE's pocket, and you're treating him like this, and it's brutal when the guy that you're elevating, the feeling is he just doesn't care, and
The good
it
the
just
good
sucks.
the good news though, when I'm in Philadelphia for WrestleMania 40, and it'll probably be night 2, and I get to watch Roman Reigns finally drop the belt, it's gonna be pretty fun, whoever he's gonna be facing.
Do you think they're actually going to let him drop the belt? I don't know. I don't think he's going to drop it.
Good lord, man. If they don't have him drop the belt at WrestleMania 40, when is he dropping the belt then? There's no way. We
Yeah.
can't, there's no way. I I part of me doesn't even want him to last till WrestleMania 40, to be honest. I want to move on already. I want a fighting champion. But I don't know about you, when that theme song still hits and the one goes up, I still get excited.
I feel you. He's got a great entrance. Paul Heyman is a magician. He does so much for
Yes, my tribal chief. Yes.
he's the best, right? Like he does so much to carry Roman, right? I think I would associate Roman's run, and I would see Paul as more so as the champion than I would see Roman, because the amount of hours Paul puts in, he's he's the real champ. He's the guy that keeps the bloodline flowing. He's the heart of the bloodline.
Well, this is a great segue for next week's show, because for next week's show, JP, MJF, is he headed to WWE in 2024? And is he the one to take the belt off of Roman? And if he does, who's going to replace him as AEW champ? This is Professional Wrestling, the podcast. That's JP El-Khoury, Jonathan A. Hacohen, and we'll see y'all back soon. Yeah.